Hello everybody and welcome to another tier list video. This one is gonna be rating cartoons from 2000s, like way back when the original Ben 10 was on the show, Casper Scare School, Code Lyoko, you know, all that good stuff. First one we are going to do is Johnny Test. Johnny Test was an actually good show. It wasn't too over the top. It always had something new. I wouldn't really call it filler episodes because I don't know if there's actually filler episodes in like cartoons like this, but it was a good show. So I'm gonna rate it A. You also had Bling Boy, you had the talking dog, his two hot sisters, and yeah. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it a lot. Next one we have is ScoobyDoo. ScoobyDoo is a classic. S tier already. A whole bunch of episodes, really good, just top tier. It's just Scooby-Doo. If you don't love Scooby-Doo, then oh well, I guess you don't love Scooby-Doo. Sailor Moon, a show that I didn't really watch, but I heard was really good, and for my opinion, it'll be a B, because I didn't really watch it, but I've seen episodes. Also, this episode is not, this tier list is also going to be some stuff that was on Adult Swim at night, and some stuff that was on Cartoon Network. So it's going to be both. These are really old shows, so if you don't know them, then that's okay. Next one is Courage the Cowardly Dog. Courage was S. You know what? It's an S+. I didn't mean, I'd roll above. It is an S+ because this was a type of show that I would watch, that I would want more episodes. If it was on, I'd watch this over anything else. I mean, yeah, occasionally there would be another show that I would want to watch, but Courage, if it's on, I'm watching it. I don't care. Scooby-Doo was like, alright, it's on. I guess I'll watch it if nothing else is on. 16. If you don't know this was 16, couple kids in the mall doing jobs and all this stuff. Pretty good show. I'll give it an A. It was decent. It was short running. I don't know how many seasons there were, but it was pretty good. So we got Total Drama Action. Total Drama Action was a C tier. I don't think it was as good as Total Drama Island. It had its moments. Its moments, not his moments. This show is not a guy. But it had its moments. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the greatest. But it could have been better. So first C is Total Drama Action. Now this show was awesome. I don't know if you remember it, but there was a game on it too for the GameCube, Zatch Bell. Zatch Bell was such a good anime, and I'm rating it an A because I don't know why they didn't continue doing it. It was just so good. The plot was good, it had weird characters. They were puppets. I believe they were puppets or dolls or something, and you get a book and you write off their spells and stuff. And then they had a fighting game, which was really good. And then there was a guy talking about singing some melons. It was weird, but it was also good at the same time. So this one, you probably don't know. This one's going into B. This one is called the Hi Hi Puffy Yumi Show, which these people also made the theme song for the original Teen Titans. I believe the English and the Japanese version. If I'm mistaken, I'm sorry. But their show was okay. It wasn't the greatest, but it was good. So it's a B tier. Code Lyoko. Code Lyoko. This was like everybody's dream. You go into a thing, you go into like a chamber, put something on, and then you're in a video game. You're actually in a video game, but I believe you can get hurt. Yeah, you can break your arms and stuff like that. It wasn't that graphic, but it was cool. Every episode was cool. The art style was cool. It was a new take on cartoons, in my opinion. That's why it deserves an S. I'm not going to go too in-depth with these shows because I haven't seen these in 5 ever. Like, it has been so long. And now we got Bobo. If you remember this show, I'm giving it a B. Because it could be weird and too over the top. It was just one of those shows which was just like, well, this is kind of weird and I don't know if I enjoy it or not. It had a talking sun guy. It was Bobo. It was just weird. I was gonna say he had a moving mustache, and I believe he did, that he can whip. It was just weird. It was like JoJo's. Well, I don't know if JoJo's was a thing back then. It might have been. But it was like another take on JoJo's. Codename Kids Next Door. This is another S, because this is one of those shows that if it's on, you'll definitely watch it. If something else is on and you're just like, I don't want to watch this, skip. Codename's Kids Next Door. Amazing show. One of the best on there. And it was just amazing. It was just being a kid, and I believe the premise of it is when you turn into a teenager, you would lose access to all the stuff that kids know, so like your imagination and all that stuff. I remember number 5's brother used to be, or something like that, and then it was number 4, and then there was the Rainbow Monkey episode. It was a lot. There was a lot. There was the what do I want to call it? The Lunch Lady episode, the Toilinator. There was a bunch of stuff in that show, and that show deserves an S. So C-Lab 2021, it's going into D. I don't like the art style. I don't like that show in general. And I just didn't think it was funny, probably because I was a kid and didn't understand it at the time. But I just didn't like it. And that's just me. That's okay if somebody else doesn't like what you like. It's just my opinion. Samurai Jack. So Samurai Jack gets an A. I didn't watch it as much as other people did. I know, I'm sorry, but it gets an A because it was decent, it was good. It just wasn't the best for me. I know people are gonna go nuts and be like, whoa, Samurai Jack was the best. It was the best. It was okay. It was cool. It had moments, like every other show. Next is Johnny Bravo. It's going to C. Johnny Bravo was good, don't get me wrong, but it could be better. And Johnny Bravo would not last on TV in nowadays societies. I do not think so. But that's not the reason why I'm giving it a C. That's just my input. For C, it just could have been better. It was one of those shows like, oh, I watch it for like 2 minutes, see what happens, and then I click off of it. Like, I'll show interest, but I'm not gonna sit there and watch it, you know? Now we got Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. This is going into A. It was a good episode, but when the cheese episode came out, it was just too much. It was like, excuse me, it was nowadays comedy. People are like, there's a meme. Hey, the meme's funny for like the first 2 days. 2 months go by, about like 2 weeks go by, and people are still using the meme like, okay, we get it. It was funny. It was funny the first time. But Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends is an A. Episodes could be better. There could have been more seasons too. But it was good. Franny, the old lady. There was Blue or Red. There was the Mexican guy, Eduardo, I believe his name was. There was Coco. Yeah, Blue was the small blue guy. That's right. And there was a bunch of other ones. It was just a good show. Like, that's one of those shows I click on and be like, all right, I'm watching this. And then we got Mucha Lucha. Mucha Lucha is what is Mucha Lucha? Mucha Lucha was good. My brother liked it a lot. I'd watch it because he'd watch it. Like, it was a good show to me, but it wouldn't be something I would binge watch. Like Courage, I would binge watch if it was on Netflix. ScoobyDoo, not so much, because it's old art style, and I just don't like old art style anymore. Code Lyoko, I would binge watch in a couple days. Like, I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't binge watch it. Like, I'd watch an episode or two and then do something else. And then we got Courage, which I'd watch all the time. Next one is Home Movies. This show was weird, and that was the main reason why I watched it. I was like, okay, what will happen next? It's weird. It's like your uncle telling a story which you don't want to listen to, but then you're curious about it, so that's why you watch it. But yeah, okay, I'm taking that to a C, not a D. That's basically all I gotta say about that. But Mucha Lucha deserves a B. If you liked it, you liked it. If you didn't, that's the category. If you liked it, you liked it. You didn't. So Naruto. Okay, you may hate me for this, but I think Naruto is one of the best animes. Okay, it's just my opinion. I'm not trying to start anything. But I think Naruto was one of the best animes. Like, it's one of those animes that I just keep watching. I've watched it once through already. I think I've watched it twice through. not all the way, but it's just one of those animes like, man, I should watch Naruto. I should watch Naruto this, or see something like, yeah, that makes me want to watch Naruto. I'm not a big anime guy, so I've seen a couple animes, Blood Plus, Fooly Cooly, Witchblade, Black Butler. Maybe I'll do an anime tier list. We'll see about that. Camp Laszlo. This was an S+ show, yeah. This deserves an S. It was weird, it was funny, and it wasn't really a boring moment. There was always something going on. They always messing with the camp counselor. They also had that one weird guy, the rude guy, and then the twins, the dumb twins. It was just a good show. This one, I barely remember, but it's going into A. Robot Boy. I remember the image of the robot. I don't remember the episodes. There was also another episode which I probably didn't. I mean, there was probably another show which I didn't put in here. My Life as a Teenage Robot. Was that on Cartoon Network? I think that was. That deserves an S because that show was good. But next one is Justice League. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I don't care for Justice League. So it's getting a C. It's just your typical superhero stuff. Yeah, they may have a cool episode, but if it's on, I'm not gonna watch it. The PS3 and the Wii were out by then, so I was probably playing video games. So next one is Flapjack. Oh no, Flapjack's S+. Flapjack is S+. Reason because the show was unhinged. There were innuendos, there were weird adventures, the details of the realistic skin in some episodes. The theme song was good. It was just weird and I loved it. And that's why I think it was an S+. That's another show I'd binge watch. Just over and over again. It may get super weird, but I'd watch it. Not like weird in a weird way, but I mean super weird. I mean, it like, you know what I mean. Probably not, because I don't even know what I mean. So now we have Destroy Build Destroy with Andrew WK, the singer himself. This deserves an A, actually. C. S. Because you just destroy, you build, and you destroy. Which I believe it would do very well in nowadays societies to make it come back. Because who doesn't like blowing shit up? Excuse my language, but it was just good. This I didn't really watch. I've seen a couple episodes. My life is Juniper Lee, which will go into C. See a couple episodes. If it was on, I'd click on it, see what it is. It was okay. So Casper's Scare School. This is gonna get a B. It was really good. In a way, it was good. If it was on, I'd watch it. Just the episode, and then if it was gonna be another one, I wouldn't watch it. What else we got? Cubix. I remember the name and I remember the robot, but I don't remember the show. So it's getting a B. I don't really have much to say. Now this one is legendary. This is another S+. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. They had a couple movies. Oh, this is another show that was like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. When the Fred Burger episode came out, people just did it for weeks or months. It was just obnoxious, but the show made everything better. It was just a good show with Mr. Scar, Grim, the girl that was obsessed with Grim, Billy's son, the spider, Jeff, Billy's dad. It was just a good show. That was an amazing show. There was the Chocolatier episode where Billy got turned into a chocolate person and he needed the antidote. That was like, there was a bunch of good episodes. It's just a good show. And oh yeah, and the Order, the one with the crows, the talking crow. Like, it's just a good show. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. This is getting a B. That's a bit too much for me sometimes. I've seen a couple episodes. I've watched it. It was just a little bit too much, and it was weird. I know that's what Adult Swim is, but some shows were just like, okay, how did this pass? How did people get this on TV? You know? Total Drama Island. This is getting an S because Total Drama Action sucked. Total Drama Island, when it was with the original cast, was one of the best shows out there. It was a show that you always looked forward to. Well, at least I did. I'd watch episode after episode. I think I've seen all the episodes of Total Drama Island that were on TV. And it was just good. Secret Saturdays. I remember Secret Saturdays, but I don't remember Secret Saturdays. Like I remember seeing who they are and what they do. But I don't remember any of the episodes, so I can't really say anything, so I'm just gonna put in a B. So Space Ghost Coast to Coast. It was like a cartoon podcast in a way, but I'm gonna give it an A because it was amusing sometimes. It was cool. If it was on, I'd watch it for like 10 minutes and then click off of it. It was a good show. It wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't the worst. It was cool because you got Space Ghost, you got Brack. It was just, Brack was cool. So this one is an oldie. Static Shock. Static Shock is S. Actually, Static Shock is A. I watched it when it was on. It had good episodes. It just wasn't the one that I would be like, oh, let's watch like 12 episodes of Static Shock. I'd be like, all right, one episode was enough, click off. That's what the A category is. Ben 10. So now we got Ben 10. Ben 10 was an S tier show. Why? Because it was Ben 10. Ben 10 was so cool. You were that, like, there was always that kid. My brother, one of my brothers. It was just cool. Me too. I fantasized, not fantasized, but like, it was just, I would have been like, yeah, that's kind of sick. I wish I had an Omnitrix. You had Ben 10, you had Kevin 11, you had Gwen, you had his grandpa, you had Diamondback, you had Gray Matter, you had that ghost one with the clock tower episode. I don't remember what his name was. Maybe Ghostface? I doubt it was Ghostface. But Ben 10 was just one of those shows that you'd be like, yeah, I'm watching this. I wish there was more. There was more, but then they made Ben 10 now, which is probably really bad, like the Teen Titans Go. I didn't put Teen Titans on here. Totally Spies. Okay, I will admit, I watched Totally Spies. And I'm going to give it an S here because it was one of those shows where it's just like, oh, this is on, I'm going to watch this. It was just a good show. It was action, main characters are hot. And they were in high school, I believe, and they were just spies. They were just doing badass things. That's why I think it was cool. It was just cool. Another show I admit to watching is Powerpuff Girls, which is getting an A because sometimes the episodes were meh. But the episodes that had action with JoJo and the brothers or the guy versions of Powerpuff Girls, and then you got him. Him had to be the coolest character in the show. His voice was weird. He was just like a walking, she was like a walking lobster. I don't know what they were. They were both genders. They were whatever they wanted to be, you know? But it was a good show. Ed and Eddie. This is another S+ show. It was dumb. Like, it was three things. You got Ed, who was good at coming up with, what do you want to call it? No, you got Eddie. Eddie was the short one who came up with schemes and everything. You got Double D, which is Ed, which was the smart one, which was always nervous and scared to do things, but he did it because Eddie did it. But then you got Ed, which is the dumb guy who was scared of his sister. I forgot what his sister's name was. I don't know, I can't think of it. You got Jimmy, you got Ralph. Ralph was an awesome character. There was one with an N, I believe. Nina. I don't know. The Kanker sisters, which were cool but weirdly hot in a way, especially the blue-haired one. It was just S+ show. That show, I would binge watch that right now if I could. So now you got Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z was on Adult Swim or Toonami. It was on Toonami, I believe. Same with Naruto. Dragon Ball Z is getting an A. Because the episodes are too long, they could have gotten to the fights and everything a bit earlier into the show. A bit too much screaming. I know I'm sound like one of those typical people that just hate on it. It's not a bad show. I watched all of Dragon Ball Z. It's a good show. I believe I was watching Dragon Ball Super. If that's the one. Yeah, Super with the tournament and Ultra Instinct. And Jiren, yeah. With the Zenos. It's a good show, but it's not something I'd go out of my way to watch. I'm not saying it's a bad, so don't get angry at me. It's an A. So now you got Shaolin Showdown. Shaolin Showdown was an S. That's a show that me and my brother watched. If you don't remember Shaolin Showdown, it was a group of kids or people that grouped together who had superpowers and were looking for the Shaolin relics, I believe they're called, which gave superpowers. You got the fist, you got the whip. It was just cool. It was just that show that was really cool, and the villain was cool too. It was like a teenage version of Handsome Jack, but except he had red hair and goggles. It was just cool. I don't know. That's really all I can explain. It was just super exciting when it came on. One of the best shows, I think. Not S+. S, just S. Now we got Yu-Gi-Oh! I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is S+, the original, and what was the other one? YuGiOh GX. Anything past that was kind of meh. Yu-Gi-Oh! 2Ds, 3Ds? The motorcycle one, that one was decent too. Anything past those is complete garbage. The characters aren't that great. I don't like how the cards were in those newer ones, but original Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi in the books was a badass. Yugi in the show is still cool. He's a bit of a wimp, but now you got the Pharaoh, which is Atem, I believe his name is. He's badass. I like his voice. He's always with the heart of the cards. And then, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, but in the end of the movie, I forgot what it was called, which I have it next to me. It's, at the end of it, Kaiba goes to where the Pharaoh is, and then Atem is there waiting for him to duel, which was, spoilers, which was bad. They didn't duel, but it was badass. And that is my ranking of Cartoon Networks of the 2000s. I know I didn't include most of them because I didn't know most of them. Well, actually, there was a couple I didn't know, and some of them it was like, I would never watch this. We only had one D. This thing was C-Lab 2021. It was probably just ahead of my time by then, and it was just, I also just didn't like the art. But yeah, if you have any favorite shows or TV shows you want to tell me about, put them in the comment section below. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button. I love doing these tier list videos because it gives my opinions on certain shows and stuff out there, and probably reminds people of like, oh, that was a show. It reminds me. So I was going through the list, I was like, whoa, that's a show. Robot Boy, that's a show. Some of these shows I totally forgot about. But my name is RillaKurai, uploading videos daily, nightly, never so delightly. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button. And I hope to see you all in the next episode. Peace.